Hello guys, it is me, Razorblade Mango, and I am here to talk about the Game Awards 2015. Did you ever think I'd make this video? Hell, I didn't think I would make the last video I did about this show back in 2014 after the disastrous train wreck of a show that was the VGX Awards, which was maybe the worst award show I've ever seen. Honestly, I couldn't even get through its punishing 3-hour runtime, and I think I bailed about like an hour and a half, 2 hours into it because I couldn't take it anymore. So this is a far cry. Let me put this out there. This is a far cry from what the VGX was. All right, this show was actually really damn good, and I never in my life thought I would say something like that, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. Jeff Keighley, he really got his shit together, and not pull out all the stops, but he definitely came together with his group of media buddies and did something that was actually really cool. I mean, last year was much better, but it still had its problems. And this year was even better than last year. So what the hell happened in the Video Game Awards? What the hell are the Video Game Awards? Well, they are a yearly thing because the video game industry is trying to have something that's like an equivalent to the Oscar, like what the Oscars are to movies or the Grammys are to music. They're trying to have their own thing. And this is Jeff Keighley's effort to create something that has the same kind of impact on our industry that the Oscars do on the film industry. And he's done a really bad job over the years with it, in my opinion. These shows, when this started out, oh man, they were horrible. They were like, you had like Megan Fox winning Best Female Performance of the Year for Transformers. You had King Kong in 2005 winning Game of the Year. You had you had like these really awkward comedians coming in, really awkward people that had you could tell by looks on their faces, had no interest in video games, and yet they were there just because they were getting a fat paycheck. So that I was like, I hated it, and I hated the VGX. That's when it took the worst. The bottom point of this entire show so far throughout the years, it was in 2013 with the VGX Awards. And if you guys, it's actually one of my first videos. If you guys haven't seen my rant on the VGX Awards, it's up there if you want to watch it. It's basically me screaming for 25 minutes about how horrible it is. But yeah, it was horrible, and I very rarely ever get offended because I'm not easy to offend. But that show was offensive. It was insulting to me as a gamer, and I just couldn't take it. I just hated everything about it. I hated the audience free approach. I hated fucking ass-face Joel McHale coming in and making all these horrible jokes, who I don't even like to begin with, but he was horrible. You could tell Jeff Keighley was getting angry at him. All the really bad interviews that they did, because fucking ass-face tried to butt in with the whole stupid jokes when we actually wanted genuine info from these creators about their game. You had really weak world premieres, just weak. I mean, yeah, we had the Telltale stuff, but there wasn't a single. I think maybe No Man's Sky and the Telltale stuff were the only things that I was like, oh, that looks interesting, and that's about it. The very disappointing world premieres. The musical performances from and don't get me wrong, GTA 5 has a great soundtrack, but that live concert of theirs, awful. It was a mess. And then you had the Loiter Squad coming in, who were they were awful. If I hadn't bailed before they popped up, that would have been the point where I bailed. Because I would have just been like, nope, not doing it. Boom, done, turned it off. It's horrible. So yeah, that show is notorious for being awful and just an affront to the video game industry. But thankfully, Jeff Keighley, he saw the feedback from it. And trust me, there was a lot of negative feedback from it, a lot of pushback from it. So he actually went back to the drawing board and redesigned the show away from Spike TV, which I think that was part of the problem, because Spike TV wanted to bring in all these ads and all these celebrities that didn't belong. So Jeff Keighley funded the event with his own money, got some sponsors from like Sony. I think Sony contributed, Microsoft, all the big guys. And his vision for the show is he wants it to be, one night, because there's always going to be mudslinging between these console fanboys. One night where they all just come together and enjoy video games. PC, PS4, Xbox, Wii, doesn't matter. Come together and enjoy and get a lot of good stuff. And that's what happened with the 2014 show, which I thought was not too shabby. And I liked it to a degree. But I think there could have been improvements. Like, number one, at 3 hours, or I think it was like 2.5 hours or 3 hours, it was way too long. Very few of the world premieres really got my attention. I was more interested in the stuff they were showing for games I already knew about, like Witcher 3 and Bloodborne, stuff like that. The Industry Icon Award went on and on and on. I thought that was boring, especially as someone who didn't know what King's Quest was. I thought that was really boring. And if you haven't played King's Quest, by the way, the new one that's out, go download that shit immediately. If you have PlayStation Plus, download that. It's fantastic. That could easily be in my top 5 games of 2016 when that comes out, when all the episodes come out. It's brilliant. So yeah, moving on to 2015, this was pretty damn good. I mean, of course, I don't agree with all the awards that were given out. I think Witcher 3 and Bloodborne got robbed in certain cases, but especially like the art direction, which I don't buy that Ori and the Blind Forest deserved it over Bloodborne. I mean, Ori and the Blind Forest is a very beautiful game, but Bloodborne to me just has the hands down the best art direction of any game released this year. But I thought that got robbed. Witcher 3 got robbed for best narrative. I mean, her story is interesting, but from what I've seen, it definitely doesn't hold a candle to Witcher 3. And the best soundtrack, my God, they robbed Bloodborne, they robbed Witcher, they robbed Everybody's Gone to the Rapture had the best soundtrack of the year, and that wasn't even nominated. There have been better soundtracks this year than Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. What the fuck? Why I mean, that's a great game, but yeah, the licensed songs that they picked for you to listen on your iDroid are fantastic and are awesome, but the orchestral soundtrack? Really? I mean, yeah, and there's great original songs in the game as well, but overall, compared to Bloodborne, compared to Witcher, compared to Everybody's Gone to Rapture, hell, compared to Final Fantasy 15 Episode to Sky? No! No! Not Phantom Pain. No. So anyway, I'm just going to talk about the reveals in chronological order, because that's just easiest for me. Oh boy. Number one, they talked about... They're bringing out a Shaq Fu. I think yeah, it's Shaq Fu. Reborn. I think it's called Shaq Fu: The Legend Reborn. And I've never played Shaq Fu. I know the reputation. Everybody knows the reputation of the original Shaq Fu. And I think a lot of eyebrows were raised when they put that Kickstarter up a while back about how, let's do Shaq Fu again and let's do it right. And Yeah, I mean, it looked interesting. I thought it was. I thought it was the trailer they showed off was funny. I like the idea that it's a side scroller beat 'em up. That seems interesting because there really aren't that many around anymore. So I hope it's good. I'll try it out because I've never played the original Shaq Fu and I have no intention of it. But I hope my biggest fear with that game is I hope it doesn't just stretch out the whole irony of like, oh look, we have Shaquille O'Neal in a game. No, guys, actually have it be a great game with good writing and have it be funny. All right, actually have it be something worth a damn. If you take away Shaq's name and all the comedy, I mean, when you look at the South Park game, if you take away the South Park. Take away South Park, take away the jokes, take away the humor, you still have a solid. It's still very solid from a gameplay perspective. So it needs to be fun to play. It can't just rely on its gimmick of, oh look, it's Shaquille O'Neal in a game. So yeah. Oh, I did miss one. They talked more about Uncharted 4. You're gonna have a new character in it. Oh, God, I keep forgetting her name, but she played Marlene in The Last of Us is one of the new villains in the game. She's like some a hitman assassin kind of person, and she's gonna kick the shit out of Nathan Drake. So that'll be interesting to see. Really do. I'm really looking forward to Uncharted 4. Very excited for that. Then we got to one of the biggest surprise of the evening for me, at least. You guys know I love Telltale. Like, you guys know I'm like a big fanboy for Telltale. I love them to death. And I've said for years, like, oh, if Batman should be done by Telltale. That'd be fucking awesome. Fucking Batman is being done by Telltale! Holy shit! Oh my god! Yes! Oh, I've always wanted that. Oh, I was so happy when they announced that. I was watching it with a friend, and we both were like, "No! Yes! Woo! Batman Telltale! Oh my god! Yes! I'm so happy! God, I loved it. I was so happy that you're gonna see that on my top 10 most anticipated games 2016. Absolutely. Cannot fucking wait for that. That's gonna be brilliant. At least I hope it's brilliant. Oh, and then speaking of, okay, not talking about the world premieres for a sec. One of the biggest problems with this show was they kept cutting away, and I know this was sponsored by like Go90 or AMD or something like that, but they kept cutting away from the show to this like interview thing with this woman who had probably no idea what video games were. She really just stood there and was like, yeah, let me ask some questions while Battlefront, oh god, Battlefront plays in the background. Good lord. And then you have all these people like fucking Cliffy B and some other, I think one of the guys from Disney was there, and he's like, yeah, Battlefront is so great. I love Star Wars, so that automatically makes Battlefront great for me because I can play as Darth Vader and I can play as Luke Skywalker and I'm on Endor. Whee! That automatically makes it a great game. It's so amazing. Fuck off. God, that's a rant for another time. But yeah, I did not like Battlefront, not at all. I think this is getting off topic, but it shamelessly exploits people's love for Star Wars in the most cynical way possible. It's supremely disheartening. Anyway, that should have been cut back because I got really sick of seeing that with them cutting back to people playing Star Wars Battlefront in the background and interviewing all these people because because you have a guy from Disney telling you Battlefront is great. Yeah, that definitely makes the game look any better. And then you moved on to Far Cry Primal, which I guess looked okay. I get because after Sony showing us Wild back at Paris Games Week, I think that is definitely the better looking prehistoric times game. That definitely looks much better than Far Cry Primal. Far Cry Primal to me it just looks like a game made out of that drug scene from Far Cry 4, just going like reliving the trippy ancestors thing, which is great as little sections in Far Cry 4, but I don't know if I'd want a whole game out of that. So, and I'm not very happy with Ubisoft right now, as I pretty much, you know, a lot of people aren't. So I was kind of like, about Far Cry Primal. I'll probably end up playing it just because it's like the only Ubisoft property that I really enjoy right now. Maybe I'll get that later on, when it's cheap. And then we moved on to, one thing. Greg Miller, he won Trending Gamer of the Year, which I've never really. It's not to say I'm not. It's to say I'm not a fan of his because I dislike him. I just don't. I'm not familiar with his work very well. I mean, I know he's the guy. He used to work at IGN, and now he does Kind of Funny Games. And apparently I've heard he's a good guy. I've heard his channel is really good. I've never really watched any of it, so I guess I'll have to, because he gave one hell of a speech when he won Trending Gamer of the Year. It didn't feel like this ego trip from a lot of people that I see. It felt like a genuine thank you to everybody that makes video games, and that was definitely the best speech of the night. I thought it was great. Psychonauts 2! Now, I have reservations about it being fan-funded again, because Tim Schafer is not the best when it comes to these fan-funding things, because he kind of did a shit job with it for Broken Age, which I don't really like Broken Age, by the way. So I'd be much more excited if it wasn't Kickstarter, and it's not Kickstarter, it's some other funding website, I think called Fig, where it's more like an investors thing where people will actually get rewards back, like money, like cash or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to research it a bit more, but the fact that it most likely will get funded, because people have been wanting Psychonauts 2 for 10 years now, including yours truly, because I used to play it on the PlayStation 2. And that's not like one of my favorite games of all time, but it's a game I very much enjoyed. I think I have it on my PlayStation 3 with the PS2 classics. I'll have to boot that up some other time, and I see if I enjoy it now. Rocket League winning best independent game, best sports racing game, good. Big thumbs up for me. Quantum Break, they show off more from Quantum Break. Which, I guess it looks pretty good, but really all the trail, and I know they want to keep a lot of what happens under wraps, but I don't know, I just it's actually like the more I see of it, the less I know what it's about. I don't know how that's possible, but it's like they keep showing the same footage over and over again. It's always that same quote, "Time waits for no man, time is collapsing around us," and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, okay, all right. I kind of like sort of tune out at that point, but yeah, maybe it's just because I've been playing Life is Strange this whole year, which won a big award, which was like the Game Changer award or something like that, which I think deserved it. Because there's so much time talk in in that series, I'm just kind of a little burned out on time travel stuff. So I don't know. Maybe when I finally play it, I'll check it out. And then they moved on to a tribute for Satoru Iwata, which good. I was hoping they would do something like that. It went on a little long, in my opinion, and I know that might sound insensitive, but I mean, I felt like his speech, Jeff Keighley's speech, was very good. I did not like Reggie Fils-Aimé's speech. I mean, I understand that they were friends, and I understand that, and maybe it's just his style of speech, because he does this during the Nintendo Direct stuff as well, but it felt so wooden. His speech felt so wooden. It's just him going, it felt like a business thing. It felt like a marketing meeting where it's like, over so and so amount of consoles have come out, and he did so, and he was a part of 3 of those consoles, and he did this and he did that, and it's all in this really like this robotic voice. It was weird, and I thought it went on, and I wanted his tribute to be better. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it was a beautiful tribute." Yeah, the idea behind it was beautiful. You know, to have them playing like that song for like 5 minutes, and then have Reggie Fils-Aimé talk about Satoru Iwata. I don't know. It to me, and I'm sorry if this sounds insensitive. I don't mean it to sound insensitive, but I felt like it went on for far too long. I felt like Reggie's speech was very underwhelming. I thought that music performance was that went on for too long as well. So, but yeah, Godspeed, Satoru Iwata. I definitely you are missed. It's definitely evident by these past few months. All this outpouring of I actually wanted to make a video about the passing of Satoru Iwata because a lot of people, and this is again, I'm sorry, getting off topic. My entrance into this video game industry was from Nintendo because I had the Game Boy, I had the Game Boy Color. So in a way, I do owe Nintendo a bit, and I've never admitted that. I don't think I've ever said that on this channel, but I'll have to do a bubbly wubbly nostalgia about something Nintendo related. And then they moved on to the CD Projekt Red Developer of the Year. Good. Awesome. They deserved it. Shadow Complex, I have no idea. I have no idea what Shadow Complex is. I never thought about it. I never thought about. I never even knew what Shadow Complex was, and it was like this big world premiere. And I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, all right, whatever. And then they moved on to the Industry Icon Award, which was given to the guys that did Command & Conquer and Doom 2. And yeah, they practically created the real-time strategy genre, which, yeah, I think they deserved that award. But again, like last year with Sierra, that awards thing, it went on and on and on. It doesn't need to be that long. You can cut it down by like a little bit. Don't completely omit it like what the fucking Oscars have done, because I was angry that Hayao Miyazaki couldn't get on stage and accept his Lifetime Achievement Award. I thought that was bullshit that they just put that in a clip. I thought that was crap. So yeah, Westwood got the Industry Icon Award. So yeah, I mean, too long for my taste, but they deserved it. Oh, and then one of the best moments, that I never expected to see from anywhere, anything of this big publicity of an event. The fact that Jeff Keighley, and I'm not a big fan of Jeff Keighley, but I gotta give the man props for calling Konami out on their bullshit. I mean, and to be fair, we have never actually gotten official confirmation from a big industry head that there is like a big, clash a big falling out between Kojima and Konami. We've seen the evidence. The evidence has been in plain sight for months now, but we've never actually had anybody confirm what is going on. And yes, that he did it. Jeff Keighley came out and said, Kojima wanted to be here to accept his award for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, but he couldn't because Konami lawyers blocked him from traveling outside of Tokyo, which thankfully was booed by the audience. Very happy about that. And the internet just flooded once again with fuck Konami. They're fucking horrible, petty assholes. So I gotta give Jeff Keighley respect for calling Konami out on their shit, especially in an event like this. And I doubt Konami will ever work with Jeff Keighley again. But you know what? I don't think anybody wants to work with Konami again because after the shit they pulled this year. So, hopefully next year Kojima will be there and it will be a world premiere where he and Del Toro and Reedus and Ito will announce a new horror IP because that's what everybody wants, and you know he's going to do it. So, and then they did the Quiet's theme performed by the person that plays Quiet, which was very nice. I love that song. And then Walking Dead. Michonne, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Michonne, I don't know. She's played by somebody from Orange is the New Black. I forget her name. But it's Walking Dead from Telltale, so I'm very excited. I'm definitely very much looking forward to that. And then they moved on. Witcher 3, Game of the Year. Goddamn right it did. Goddamn right, Witcher 3 won Game of the Year. I'm very happy. Sorry there, guys. My computer, my computer crashed on me. Damn you. I think I was talking about Witcher 3 winning Game of the Year. Yes, very happy about that. And what's interesting, this is actually important because in the past, when they have awarded games Game of the Year on this show, it's always this wording that, oh, this award ceremony said that this was Game of the Year. It's not so-and-so won Game of the Year. It's this outlet over here deemed that it won Game of the Year. It's like kind of like this snarky, backhanded thing with that. And this year, it's interesting how the wording is different from a lot of people saying Witcher 3 won Game of the Year. It's not, oh, the Game Awards said that Witcher 3 won Game of the Year. No, it's Witcher 3 won Game of the Year. And that goes to show that we're actually getting a certain amount of respect from the show is actually accumulating a certain amount of dignity and credibility and respect. And that's good because it was a very good show. And another one of my problems, I wish they had cut back on the musical performances. They had one too many. I mean, you could have cut out that band that performed in the middle and just had Deadmau5 perform at the end, which would have been nice, even though I didn't think his set was all that great. But yeah, that was the Game Awards 2015, and it was pretty damn good. Really good, actually. And a far cry from how god-awful the VGX Awards were. So, yeah, that was the Game Awards. Pretty happy about that. So anyway, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you like to see, subscribe. Definitely gonna be having a video about the PlayStation Experience conference happening in a couple hours. So I'm very excited about that. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.